let's get started creating our Rube Goldberg layout in Lucid Chart. So you've already linked your Lucid Chart to your Google Drive, your stuff in Google Drive by going to the IMC Web 2.0 Tools page. You want to go through there so that you have access to more tools versus just creating a Lucid Chart on your own. You will have a limitation at what you can do. So once you've linked it, you can click on Create and then Lucid Chart Diagram. Your first step is to name your Lucid Chart. I would start off by naming the Lucid Chart Rube Goldberg and then my name. Click on OK. Alright, just the layout of Lucid Chart. This is your creation space right here. It has a default size. And you can change that size if you want, but I start in the default size. If I do need to change my diagramming space, I go find the bottom corner and I can just expand it. But I'm just going to start with the space that they provide. You can also go to the top corner to make it the width, wider. The bottom left-hand corner to increase the length. Now the rest of the Lucid program. On the left-hand side, you will see the diagrams that you have as a default. You have the standard, the flowchart, the containers, shapes, and then images. You can add many, many more shapes. And sometimes you won't even know what shape you want to add until you see the options that they have. So if you click on more shapes down here, you will see a listing of all the different types of shape in the library available to you. Now you may not even know what these are, but if you click on the library, on the right hand side it will show you what the shapes look like that will be added to your left hand sidebar in Lucid Chart. So even though you may not know what Android mock-up shapes are, you'll notice, oh, it has a check mark and I think I need to use that, or it has a plus sign and I would like to use that in my diagram. So if you want to add these shapes, you click on. If you add them all, you're going to have quite a few on the left hand side. It's okay, but you're just going to be scrolling through a lot of different shapes. So kind of go through and take a look at what type of shapes might be helpful for you. Once you find some that you think are going to be helpful for you, go ahead and click the on button for them. And then once you're done, you can just X out, and we'll make sure we have or click on save, sorry, don't X out, click on save. Then on the left hand side, you should see those different shapes now appear in your library. So to start your creation, you have your sketch in front of you and you start laying out your Rube Goldberg. So for me, mine is turning off a light switch at home. So I'm going to start by either designing a light switch by putting in maybe a square shape or a square right here, rectangular container. Or I can do a quick Google search for a light switch, and I will see that Lucid Chart gave me a few options. It also found Icon Finder and gave you some options, or some Google Images. Now my light switch is the flat type of light switch, so I just click and drag my image into my creation space. Obviously way too large, so I'm going to minimize it and then move it towards the end result. So this is the end. This is where we're leading, our Rube Goldberg is leading up to flipping this switch off. Then I start adding in my other items. So I might need a balance of some sort. Well, I'm going to get creative and I'm going to put in a triangle, and it also puts in a text box. So here I can type in balance. Now I need something on top for the balance, so in my search bar I'm going to type in the word line. Oops. And it looks like there's an icon line right there for me. So I'm going to click and drag that in. If it's not large enough, I make it larger, resize it, put it on top of my balance. And if it doesn't fit, that means something has to be resized. There we go. If I want to group it, I click and drag all items, and then I right click or I control click, and I say group. So now my balance has become one entity versus two. And I can resize based on my need here. So I put my balance in. This is where you can be creative in Lucid Chart, because you can start creating and drawing in and putting together different shapes and images and flowchart designs that will create the different items in your Rube Goldberg. I know in my design it starts with someone going, or a ball falling down a slide. So I could search for a slide here, or I could think, okay, what kind of looks like a slide? And I think maybe just a shape. This triangle, right triangle. And now I'll type in here slide. Now you will have to put in text. So ways to put in text underneath the standard. Here's just a text box, nothing, no box around it. You just type in your text. So my Rube Goldberg design. This is a text box with the box around it. You can put in a note or a hotspot. You can also change these colors too. So you can see that I changed the line and the fill color. So you can get creative with your Rube Goldberg design in Lucid Chart. You may need more space, so again, just a reminder to increase. You mouse over the corner and you click and drag. And now everything has been widened for you to have more space. If you realize you need more space and you just want to move everything together, you click and highlight and move it all together. It automatically saves since it's in your Google Drive. So to get back to your Rube Goldberg, if you've logged out, you go to your Google Drive and find your Rube Goldberg. It will ask you to open with Lucid Chart Online, and that's okay. So this is the next step in your Rube Goldberg, actually finding the different parts of your design and putting them together on your page. So have fun, enjoy.